Hello YouTube. It's been a long time since I posted a video, almost a year, and in that time I've actually met some ALTs that came to Japan who recognize me from these videos, so I figured maybe I will actually keep doing them. 2014 has been a whirlwind of a year. A lot of things happened. Got selected, came to Japan, got a kidney stone, got hit by a car. Yeah, but I met a lot of awesome people. I'm a lot better at my job. I have put my affairs in order. I have a healthy routine. I'm eating well. I feel good. I've got a girlfriend, which is where I am right now. This is not my room. This is my lady's room, and hence the Taylor Swift poster. Anyway, I'm very happy with my life as an ALT. And I've got a lot more experience now, which means I've got a lot of videos that I would like to make, a lot of advice that I think I could give. Starting with today, I want to talk about cars and getting a car and owning a car and getting a Japanese driver's license. So let's start with getting your car. Depending on your contracting organization and your placement, your contracting organization will assign you a car when you get here. All you need is your international driver's permit, which you can get at AAA. It's like $15. Super easy. And you're good to go. It takes like 2 days to get used to driving on the left side of the road. No problem. If you're me and your contracting organization did not do that and you don't have a car because my schools are within walking distance of my apartment, you're going to have to either buy a car or rent a car. Renting a car is expensive. It can be like $300 a month. Now, that is an option. What is also an option is to buy a car, which in the long run, if you plan to stay in Japan for a long time, is the better option. So in my case, buying a car is not necessarily expensive. You can get a K car, which is a smaller engine car, and it's got like a different colored license plate, and you can do that. That's definitely an option. But what I chose to do was I got like a normal car from an ALT who was leaving, and I went and talked to her and took a look at the car, and once we decided that yes, I will buy this car from you, uh, brought all my paperwork imaginable, and in this point in the process it really helps to have some, actually not helps, you're going to need somebody who speaks Japanese at least a little. In my case, the other ALT spoke some Japanese and her direct supervisor spoke Japanese, so they guided me through the entire process. Brought all the documentation, set up insurance, and that was a lot of the paperwork. In Japan, if you own a car, you must have this compulsory insurance, and it's not necessarily insurance for you, it's insurance for the people that maybe you might hit. It'll pay for their expenses, not necessarily for you. You can pay extra for that kind of insurance that will cover your damages. So anyway, got the car, super happy with it, makes my life a lot easier. And you might think, awesome, we're good, got a car in Japan. Not exactly. Owning a car in Japan is expensive, definitely expensive. Number one, gas is expensive. Number two, freeways aren't freeways, they're expressways. So you can get from point A to point B a lot faster, but it's going to cost you. There's toll booths, right? So depending on which toll booth you get off at, depending on how far you've gone, you're going to pay. So 100 kilometers is like 30 bucks, more or less. It can add up one way. I mean, it gets expensive. Another thing is you don't have to use the freeways. You can go avoid tolls, and you get the Google Map app, and it's super useful. You can avoid all the tolls. It just takes a lot longer. Now, the huge thing is Shoten. Oh boy. Shoten is government mandated inspection of your car every 2 years while you own a car in Japan. And it's expensive. It is very expensive. So anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 I've heard. Mine is coming up pretty soon, so I'll find out. But basically you go in and you get your car fully inspected from top to bottom. Basically it's an incentive from the government for Japanese people to keep buying the latest models of car. Because if you have to go through Shoten, it's almost advantageous to you to just sell your car and invest in the new car, right? If you're going to have to pay that much anyway. For me, I didn't do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep my car. So Shoten it's a headache. Another thing is after a year of having your international driver's permit, it will expire. And you can't just go back to your country and get a new one because you have to be in your country for a period of at least 3 months for you to get a new one that's valid in Japan. You can't do that. So you're gonna have to get a Japanese driver's license, and that is an interesting process. Number one, go to your licensing center. Bring your passport, bring your hunko, bring every possible document that you can imagine, and sometimes they will require you to prove that you lived in the country you're claiming to be from, which I'm sorry, but that is silly to me. So I had to order my university transcripts, have them sent to my house, and have my mom send them to Japan so that I could show them to the people at the licensing center to prove that I was actually in America for a period of like a year or whatever. It's a headache. Once you get that done, you are free to schedule driving lessons, schedule the written exam, the eye test, and your actual driving test. Driving lessons are expensive, but I recommend you take at least one because they're very particular about little things on the driving test. It's a test course. It's not on the street. It's just a test course, and you sit with the instructor who's grading you on a pad of paper for the test. But it's useful to take at least one driving lesson, which is like $50. Once you feel comfortable, and they recommend you take like 5, but I took 2. Once you feel comfortable with that, go ahead and schedule your written exam, which starts in the morning. And you go in, and that is common sense questions. You do not really need to study for that. I think you should be fine. Once you pass that, they will give you an eye exam, which, unless you're blind, again, should not be a problem. And then you're going to be taking your actual driving test. And that is a little bit more difficult. I have heard that around 70% of ALTs fail their first time. I've also heard that the record in my prefecture is 7 driving tests before actually passing. I took one and I passed on my first try today, what I'm super stoked about. But once you do that, you have to pay some money and they will issue you your actual Japanese driver's license on the same day. And you'll walk out of there and you can drive in Japan for 2.5 years and you're good. So yeah, I think that is all that I have to say about driving. I hope that helps. Like I said, there's going to be some more videos coming up soon here, and I hope that they help. Everything from my experience with teaching in Japan and what you should do and just living life as an ALT in general. Anyway, sayonara.